All right, welcome back to Oni for DUMDUMS. We're on episode 7. Bit of housekeeping here. I rewatched the previous episode, and I still think I can do a better job of making sure each of the sections are sort of chunked out better. I think I get there are distractions in this game. There are goals that you need to do that you get pulled away from. And I think in general, to be as helpful as I can as a teacher to you guys is to make sure that I'm sort of staying on track with our goals for each episode. And also time. I did find my timer. And I'm setting it to 40 minutes because I know I'm going to go beyond that. I'm also going to sneak my little mic closer because I forgot to do that. Okay, here we go. That's better. All right, so now we're nice and close and we're snug. Lastly, this is a very small channel. I don't plan on, really putting too much work into growing it. I mostly just want to play this game, and if other people get enjoyment out of that, then that's great. Looks like I need some mush bars here. Start building that. Just run a little low on food. So anyways, my point is, if you have a question or maybe I didn't explain something right, just let me know. Put it in the comments, and you could send it to me directly, but I think if you're confused, someone else is probably confused. So literally, if there's anything, and I will help cover it in the next episode. So if you leave a comment, just let me know. Like I'm here to help. We're here to get this stuff like feeling as good as we can. So that's what we're doing. So I need you, you need me. So literally, if there's anything, just let me know, and I will go over it again for you. Okay, now moving on, we're going to our table of contents, what we want to tackle today. I thought of two things. One is, I think that we need to enclose our base. And the reason is we have some heat creep, and that's also coming in here. But in general, I like to operate with an enclosed space, and so that I can control everything going on in here. And what I mean by that is control oxygen. So here's our oxygen. We have breathable oxygen here, which is looking really good. And this is pretty common for it to sort of fall away here. And I want to be able to control that. This is okay for now. It's still breathable. We want this as a target for everything. And obviously here, like, we're just gonna have carbon dioxide and stuff. But if this is always full, this will be feeling really good down here. And then obviously this is still a problem. But if we're able to push and get lots of oxygen here, then we would be good to go. So what I want to do is, I don't want to waste my oxygen on like these chunks, because like this oxygen is going here. So not only do I want to block off my base, I also want to make sure I'm controlling the temperature. That way I am in ultimate control over like what's going on here. So that's going to be item number 1, focus of today. Isolating your base from the rest of the world so you can control everything effectively. And lastly, I think my dupes are sick of the mush fry. What is it? Mush fry. So we're gonna try to take care of that. So we actually do need to cook like no tomorrow, because we're out of here. But so our chef is gonna cook, and we're also gonna start our Mealwood farm, which I think is gonna be down here. So you know, what to do first. Maybe we'll do the Mealwood farm. Okay, here's what we'll do. We're gonna have just enclosing the base. That'll be the first thing. And then for oxygen. And then we're gonna enclose it for temperature after we do the farm. So first we're gonna enclose for our oxygen. So I like to use these mechanized airlocks for these outs here. So you can get your atmospheric suits in the future. And that way it's a quick, like, they're out. I usually use a better quality version, but we only have iron ore and copper ore, so that's just what we're gonna do here. And luckily we have enough for 3, so we're just gonna place all 3. And then we're gonna insulate with our igneous rock, because that is money. And this we will just carry to here. I think that'll work. Okay, so the nice thing about these mechanized airlocks is that they still work when there's no power. They do require power, but they just essentially operate as, you know, a regular one of these manual airlock when they're not powered. So you don't have to really power them, but I'm going to because, you know, I want them to quickly get in, quickly get out. That's the whole point. I'm gonna break my rule and use the iron just to get it done. In general, you don't want to use the iron. You want to go get some copper, but I'm trying to be effective with my my goals here, and I don't want any of that to get in the way. I'm gonna go ahead and put a ladder here so they can reach into this corner. And what's great about these ladders in this sort of zone is this is very breathable still. I'm just gonna do one because that's all we really need. So you want things to be breathable. Put a ladder here so they can climb up and get these. I think this one is, maybe once this digs, they won't be able to put that there. And now that we have this, we can open these suckers. So in general, you just want to keep stuff open. You can see it's working. It's just very slow. We want this to be a little faster. At a certain point, you'll have undesirable gas here, and you'll need a way to filter the excess gas that comes in. That way, only oxygen is in your base, and you're not getting any garbage in there. We're also going to airflow tile right here. That way, any gases that are coming in that are heavy will go down, and any other ones will go up. You also, like, if there's undesirable gases, the most undesirable one is going to be steam, because when it comes in here and it lowers in temperature, it'll turn into water. And that's a huge pain in the butt to, like, mop all that up and deal with all of that. Other gases, in general, my base will have filters so they could easily take care of that. So it's maybe a little bit excessive when I filter at these doors. And I think maybe for this run I won't, because I'm gonna have so many access points. Before, I would have multiple access points. So I would create a chamber that filters out all the oxygen and puts it here, and then takes the rest and puts it outside of the base. So it's really just, you know, what makes the most sense for your base. And since I'm doing this sort of new thing where I'm creating these sort of luxury suites with a private bathroom and a bedroom and their own showers, I think I'm just gonna do it the normal way. So that's I think that's about what we're gonna be doing. Okay, so we're enclosing that. Now the other part that we need to enclose, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do some igneous here because you know, because that's just, we're already here. So if I'm already gonna be creating something, then let's just make it. We're gonna leave that space there. I'm gonna deconstruct that. Let's dig this out so it's a little cleaner looking. We'll leave that in the middle because that's okay with me. Dig this out. We need a tile. I think we'll need a tile there just for some action. And then actually, I don't know if I want to. put that there. I think I want to leave space for another. I'm gonna leave space for another one of these. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. We're gonna not dig. We'll clean it. It's already the same. You could put airflow tiles in here to make sure it's a little bit breathable, or sneaky, just leave space. Leave space. It's all good. All right. Looks like we are creating our food, so that's good. So we'll at least have some more mush fries for now. Okay, and then here, now the big question is, do we actually want to just enclose our base here? Maybe. Maybe. Should this be... This will give us a little bit of space on the left side for action, even though we are kind of doing it here. But that's okay if it's not perfectly aligned. I mean, you know, ideally it would be perfectly aligned. But maybe for now, let's leave some space. That's always a good idea, to leave a little bit of space, so you can, in the future, you can make the expansion as you want. Okay, so now currently the only out is through these doors here. That's the only out. So not a huge problem, but also that's something to keep in mind. If your dupe needs to go potty really quickly, they're gonna have to come through this slow door all the way down to here, because this isn't plumbed yet. And actually, since we are here, I should plumb this. We should plumb this now. And the reason is because we actually have a pretty clean enough way to do it. We have our water in here. We have this drainage here. And you're gonna bust my balls here, but I am gonna be moving the shower here at a later time. So that's fun. Okay, now we need to get this to a safe spot. And we're just gonna take it on over here. We're just gonna bring it on down. That's a little messy, not ideal for me, but for now, we'll create a better system later. We could also just carry it over right here, which is what I'm gonna do actually. That's a little bit cleaner. This is a little bit more out of the way. So I like that aspect of it. Now here's a little trick for you. So dupes can stand on these doors. Right now this is an unreachable build right here. Dupes can stand on this, so what you do, if you're above a door, unreachable build above a door, just delete these two and then put them right on back. We got some starvation. Always check these alerts even if you see you have food, because sometimes they're stuck. Starvation. Okay, but she's not stuck, she's good to go. All right, our base is looking good. We are enclosed. We have options for more smart batteries and transformers in the future, which is also good. We're not using our spice grinder at the moment, but we don't have any spices to use. But these are also good extra things to do. For instance, this freshener spice is great for later when you're not using your mealwood seeds anymore for actual food, and you're using it for other things, like maybe you keep a small mealwood farm to put these freshener on here. Slow the decomposition of perishable foods. I mean, that's great. These other things are great to do, but I don't know. That one to me is the clear winner. All these things you can grow. And make later. That's a little bit more of an end game thing, but you know, it's good to have. And as we're doing our mealwood seeds, that's you know, just smart. You just gotta think about it, be smart about it. Okay, we're killing the rock grinder. Very well, soldier, because we are going to be. Well, what I'm going to be doing is putting a bedroom here, a bedroom here, and a bedroom here. So we're gonna have 3 bedrooms. Okay, so I'm gonna have to move this, I'm already realizing. So that'll be okay. For now, I'll just leave that as is. 1, 2, 3. No, here's the thing. Are we gonna have space to do that? So maybe it's a rejig. Okay. See, here I am getting distracted. Stay on course. Stay on course. All right, so we have our water here. So now we want to move this water. And I think we're gonna bring it like down to here. Okay, so let's go make our new water chamber. And as you do this, you want to be careful. Here's sand, so if we open this up, that will drop down and it will go over here. So let's not build it like that, but let's just dig down and flood this area. Just like that. We'll just build our little sandstones. And then we're gonna hop in here, and this will be the edge of our main water right here. So that will just be like that, okay? And we'll take this all the way up so we can make sure that our water is in a central location. And this is all part of closing it up. What we want to do, we want to open this up to create some farming areas for our dupes to use. And do we have power going to here? Yes. Can they build this? Yes, they can. So let's expedite that. So we have our power. Okay, and building this down will also help with our carbon dioxide problem, so it's not seeping so high up. All right, and then the next thing I want to do is I'm just going to open this up for some breathability. So I'm placing it under the things that already exist, because if we do it here, it's going to get rid of the plant that's hidden underneath all this junk. But there's a plant there, like right here. Here's a plant. We don't want to get rid of that. We want to keep it. So I'm putting it under here to control it. All right, let's kill all these tutorials because they're annoying. Looks like we need to do some research. So let's go ahead and just pick something that we will do in the future. Just need to decide on what that is. I think this is what we're doing. Improve plumbing. We're gonna need that eventually. And probably sooner rather than later. All right, speeding up. Watch the yellow alerts. Make sure those get done. Okay, so now this is fully mechanized. We're good to go. We have our plumbing situation is currently being built. So that's excellent. And we're building down so we can capture this space for our water. All right, here comes the water. So what we want to do is we want to use gravity. We're going to get rid of this mealwood here. We want to use gravity so all the water dumps down into here. We have this all set to 9, which is a problem. I think they're just going to get confused on what they want to do first. So I think we're going to set, let's set this building to 7 because we don't 100%. That can just be done as we go. You guys sort of saw the point. This plumbing, we do need to expedite this. They can reach here. Yeah. We need all that stuff to be working, and we're just cleaning it up. Clean it on up. There you go, guys. Okay. Okay, so down here, so once they get this built, then they'll go ahead and open this up. And the reason why we're going so low is because this water. We're going to try to capture this water. So we're just going to go 1 below. I think that what we actually should do is create this ladder. So we're going 2. See? So that way we're going down here. Some great copper ore in here that we're going to also snag. And remember, just be careful when you're doing this with the gases. This doesn't have a ton of gas in here, so it's okay if this enters our base. We have some chlorine in here already. Alright, so this is part of enclosing and building out for our farms, which we're going to put underneath all this stuff. So we're sort of transitioning into our farm building, but we need to isolate this water in order to be effective here. This, we need to kill the planter box, and we are going to plant a new one somewhere else. But we want to enclose this water here. Okay, use the granite. Okay, and our hatches. You know, that's okay. They're probably gonna drown in here, so that's all right. That's the circle of life. All right, so we have this water dumping. Let's create our tunnel to get this water in. So we want to sort of do something like that. In fact, let's just not screw around. Let's just get our ladder. What do we have here? Sandstone? Sandstone. No more screwing around. Let's just get it all in there. Alright, we got a blueprint. Go check that out. We got some oxalite. That's actually helpful for what we're doing. We have a master cook. So we already have a cook, but they have binge eater. Don't love that. We're just going to do the oxalite. We have 7 dupes. Do I need another bed? Mima doesn't have a bed. How does Mima not have a bed? While you guys are sleeping and poor Mima is sleeping on the ground? It's not very respectful to your elders. Alright, oh, we got some copper now, so let's be sure to use the copper. At some point, I'm going to go through and delete all the iron things I made, so we can use that for steel. In general, you want to save your iron. Alright, so this is looking pretty good. We want to make sure that we're building our tile. That's an unreachable build because my ladder is too far away. So let's go ahead and do something like that. Something like that. So that way we can reach everything. We're going to continue this ladder as an access point to our main hub here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then we're going to close off this water. We're going to close it off, and I think we're going to close it off over here. So we're going to actually do this little trick where we slowly bring stuff over. What do we have here? I think this is sandstone. Sometimes you just have so much stuff. So we'll do a sandstone. So what you do is you just do one at a time. We'll expedite that so they get her done. I think they're on break right now. Yeah, they're all eating, they're all sleeping. I think we need another mess table as well. Mima's eating in the hospital, which is, you know, whatever happened to respecting your elders? I just don't get it. This is unrefrigerated. Suffocating. Okay, Banhi is not stuck. They're just, for some reason, didn't want to sleep. Probably because they're sopping wet from trying to get over here. All right, so we do have a small problem. Our liquid is, we have a lot of liquid. So, not ideal, but one option we have is to build a quick little pump. And we're just gonna pump the rest of this up into here. And we're gonna do it like that. Yep, okay. So, we need our wire. And, you know, for stuff like this, cool to use iron, because, you know, you're just gonna delete it, but... Alright, so we're going to pump this up. We're going to expedite this part because I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait for this to pump out. It will take a little bit of time. also expediting this. This is the problem you'll run into. You just start expediting everything and then nothing is important. This happens to me in my career, where it's like, well, not everything can be important. Alright, so we're pumping this water up. Again, here's where I sent it, right? To this line here, which is hopping over here, and is now dumping into our main water supply. And the reason we're doing that is because we are trying to close this off, and I don't want excess water that can't be mopped up in this area. We don't really want the dupes to be running into this problem where they are having to deal with having wet feet and slowing down. So that is why we're doing it this way. And we're again following the same ladder convention. We are digging here. We are also going to build, let's see, we'll build a ladder. Okay, got a suffocation notification, Ahhhhh. So this is where it just gets a little bit dangerous because, you know, there's a lot of carbon dioxide here. So it's just, there's no breathability, and that's where they're working. So, you know, you want to try to take care of them best you can. And I think now is a good time to, since this is enclosed, maybe we force this. So we could actually open this up so maybe it'll be a little bit more breathable for them as they're working. I think the water physics are a little weird in this game. If you have it enclosed here. Yeah, our oxygen levels are getting a little low, probably because of all the people we have. Once we get this fully enclosed, I think we'll be doing a lot better. All right. All right. So we're expediting these things. We're expediting this enclosure. We're also going to be. We want to expedite this part because we just want to get this water over here. Yes, we can. This is getting pumped out. Okay, things are looking good. Okay, so now we expedite that one, and then we want to expedite our igneous. And let's open this out. Let's open both these out. That's gonna ruin our. Let's do it. Okay. And then final igneous here. And let's get our igneous floor. To go all the way there. We just want it to. Well, actually, let's do it all the way. But this is an 8. That's an 8. All right, so we want them to do this part, and we want this. Okay, so very important. Don't get rid of this liquid pump stuff until you have placed your new one, which I'm going to place right there. Alright, we got our sandstorm decor. Okay. So, same deal, I'm just continuing it down here. Still getting lots of alerts, but it looks like it's temporary. It probably just has to do with breathability. Alright, more wire. Let's bring our wire down, follow the same method. Now this liquid pump can be deleted because it is no longer functional. And we do need to expedite this so we don't get hosed with our water issues. Now, for this, I do like to have multiple ladder situations. For the reason of, we just want to make sure we can access everything, especially in the water tank. So that's why we have this here. See? And that's why we have, that's just why we're doing it this way. Okay, and we do want to move all of this water over to here, so I think we are going to want to do this. well. Send it up from the bottom. Because we're gonna enclose this. Once that's built, then I'll enclose it. Looks like we are low on power. I think we need to feed, these need some coal in there. So we'll let them eat and sleep, and then we'll take care of that. It's not super pertinent. The sink is full. It doesn't have an output for the polluted water. That will be fixed later. But you can see everything's shut down. All the power's off. You can tell by looking at here, the smart battery is pretty much dead. This smart battery is dead. So we just gotta deliver some coal. That'll bring everything up. There we go. Alright, so now you can see what happens. So the batteries charge up. Green light means they're charging. Dark green means they're off. See? Now that's all fully charged. Now we're good. Now it's using our batteries. Everything is Gucci. Alright, so we're still building, and now, so you want to avoid this here. See this problem? So as the water is pumping up, it's using the energy of a full pump, but it's only pumping up 1,000 Gs. You want to be pumping up the full amount. So when this happens, you go, see you later. Because this is just temporary anyways. You can set this to automate so you can make sure that a full water slot is next to it. That's a little bit excessive for just your main water supply, but it is an option. So let's expedite these two things, and we want to expedite this pump, and then we also want to do that. We have our Paku here. Alright, we're going to speed her up. Alright, looks like Nisbet is trapped. Expedite this, so she doesn't die of oxygen or starvation. Looking good. Alright, so starvation. That is Liera. We're really stressing our dupes out a little bit, you can tell. Liera's stress is 11. When that happens, they should be gravitating towards these, which I think the brakes, let's see, this is a little bit different here. Okay, if they reach 50% stress, they go and take a massage break. I'm gonna set this to 10. Because I want our dupes to just be feeling good. So Liera should go take her massage break. Wherever there she goes. There you go. Oh, get that massage. You know, it's a thoughtful idea, these massages with this wood hand. I can't imagine that feels very good. Plus, it's like sort of missing her in general. You know, you're also in this hyper enclosed space that doesn't seem very comfortable. The decor is decent enough. It could be better. You can see as you highlight over, like, oh, what's affecting what in any given area. So these statues are helping. These red things are not helping. The dupe, Liera's outfit, is actually a negative value decor. So those are all things to pay attention to as you're building. You can see there's hell zone for decor right here. It's almost maximum negative value. I don't know if that's the thing. Maximum negative value. This is feeling pretty good, but maybe could be slightly better. 120 maximum decor right here, this spot. So if they're standing in front of this computer, they're doing really good. And we can adjust that so everything is maximum by just adding some drywall, I think. Okay, ooh, okay, so we could do the pokey shell and go put it, but I think it's too soon for that. And we have a doctor here. Okay, let's go look at our skills. Who is doing what? Because I think we have a chef doctor at the moment, and we just want Ren to be the chef. So Mr. Ren, Chef Dr. Ren, we're gonna improve your carrying. We just want you to be the cook. So we're gonna go get our own doctor. And that will be that. Let's take a look. Everyone else's skills, does anyone have? I love that Mima is like the person who carries and tinkers. I think that's a cool Mima, I would say. We really lucked out on our Mima this run. I'll always go for the non-stereotypical Mimas. That's the way to do it. All right, Jean, welcome to the club. You're a doctor. Oop, let's do that. All right, build a bed. Build a bed. Build a mess table. Wait, 8. Okay, we just gotta make sure these are. Jean, that's yours. I think this should belong to the hospital, but it's assigned to Mima. So, Mima, let's make sure your dupes are eating in the right spots. This should be a hospital assignment, which I don't see on here, but oh, it's because I opened this up. I see. Oh, that's why Mima gravitated. Oh. Man, let's expedite that so we can have our hospital bonus again, just in case someone gets sick. Speeding her up. Okay, there we go. Oh, we don't want to use the sandstone. We want to use the granite. Better decor. Bonus. And it should just be right there for them to use. Okay, now it's assigned to the hospital. And we have our hospital back. Okay, looking good. All right, so this looks good. They need to build this down. This we need to get rid of that. And of course we need to make sure this is crossable in multiple spots, including on the bottom. Our Pakus are loving it. Congratulations, Pakus. And of course, we need to get rid of this pipe and this wire because we are not using it. All right. Let's see. Airflow tile blocks liquid flow without obstructing gas, which is great. The mesh tile does liquid and gas, by the way. So we are gonna put this here. And the reason is so our carbon dioxide can get under control a little bit better. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so for certain farms, you probably want to do a 5. It depends on what light it is. For the Mealwood, we're just gonna do tiles of hydroponic. Of the hydroponic variety. And you want space for the Mealwood, which is 2. That requires 2. And then also space for an auto sweeper. So we're gonna follow our door conventions here. So I'm gonna squeeze this into a 1x3. So we're just gonna plant all of the copper that we have, which is almost a perfect amount here. And then we also, I'm gonna set this to 1. We also want to think about auto sweeping. So right now, if we put that there and that there, that has this space in the middle where we can put a storage bin. And right here, we can also put another storage bin. And we'll create a system where this can be, actually, we'll nix that for now. Just built another hydroponic farm. Okay, why are we doing the hydroponic farm instead of the farm tile? Well, the farm tile, obviously, you got lots of dirt, very easy to build these. The problem is that they have to be hand watered. So they would come up here and get that. Hydroponic farm doesn't need to be hand watered. What it uses is liquid pipe in order to feed your plants. So you basically just connect it to your water supply and you're good to go. That's the wonderful thing about it, and that's why we're building that. Okay, in here, seeds. Mealwood seeds are here. Set it to 9. So the reason we have this set up is because we're going to be putting seeds here. Why is Nisbet just hanging here? You can leave. You don't need to just stand there. So basically when we're ready to build our automation, they can both plant the seeds and they can... I don't think they can harvest. I'll have to check. But I'm not worrying about fertilizer for these. Mostly because I don't want to deal with that at all. So that's a good reason to do stuff. All right, so for plumbing, I'm just gonna do sandstone. Sandstone's chill. And then we're gonna stick this on an airflow tile because we're gonna wanna close that up at a certain point. Let's check our temps. Temps are feeling pretty good. We still need to enclose this part of our base, but you know, things in general are feeling really nice. And I think that this area we'll probably get rid of eventually, but for now, we're building our farm. This is part of our agenda. We're staying on track. We're making it work. And that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do. We're gonna get rid of that eventually, so I'm just taking care of it right now. You know, we're just gonna, that'll be a clean. Could also do it down here, which is what I'm gonna do. I don't like having multiple pipes crossing the main section. I kind of just want it to cross in one spot. For instance, having it cross on the bottom is actually more ideal in my opinion. So it just looks cleaner. All right, there's our 40-minute, which might be a little different than what it actually was because I had to take a break for a minute. So we're gonna think about this for long term, and that's what we're doing. We are gonna close this because I just think, I just like having the farm overlay. And then of course we're gonna do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this. Now, we should still just have a compost handy, but I'm just gonna dump it over here because I don't want it in our way of this stuff. Pneumatic door. Just gonna do that. Not as clean, but still effective. Closing that up. And, you know, base-wise, we have this weird extra spot, which is okay because I think we can add a bigger statue in the middle. So we'll add a twofer. I'm gonna close this up. Or maybe this is our vent. Maybe we just have a little vent here, and that's perfectly fine. It was good to have a little back door area. Just for gases to really escape through. Little vent area. That's probably what we'll do eventually. We'll probably move this power plant's stuff to out of the way so it's not in our main chamber and upsetting our dupes. Alright, things are looking really nice. We have our water, we have this water, this finished up, so let's just kill it. let's expedite the moppings. The mopping's good. That we're just gonna get rid of. Yeah, things are feeling really nice. Okay, so we have this oxyfern, which needs a floor. So we're actually gonna do an oxyfern here. There, and just do it there. Okay, good enough. See? It's not entirely uniform, but you know, it's our base, and we love it. We love it for its non-uniformity. And we're gonna X out these because they're just in the way. Here I am deleting just the buildings here. All right, things are looking good. Mealwood. So we have lots of mealwood seeds. These are what you're gonna have the most access to. These have been producing through these mealwood plants that we have that are just growing naturally. So every time these produce, they produce a little bit of seed as well. So eventually you'll just have all of this extra seed in your base. Starting to get low on oxygen, especially up in the spots where it matters. So I'm gonna put this right up here, so we can get a little bit more breathability in a good spot. And now we can kind of, oxygen, like we can kind of crank it up. Like everything's enclosed, so we want it to sort of start getting high and expire at the top. We also want it connected to this wiring anyways, because the potential load is 540. So we can increase that because we don't have a ton of things that will be screwing with it. All right, set that to 9. Building that out. We got a couple skills. Let's take a look at those. Jean's gonna be our doctor, so congratulations. Medicine. Oh, don't forget the hats. Mima, she's now even stronger. She's got an orange hat. And this is our demolition and farmer person. And we'll give them improved tidying. Why not? Probably should do supply, but it's all good. All good. All right, let's research a little more since we have plenty of water. Let's get this drywall. That'll help with our morale. Let's plant our oxyferns. Okay, so we can't plant this because that. This we're gonna get rid of. We can plant our oxyferns. Plant. All right. Things are looking nice. Things are looking real nice. I'm gonna go ahead and let's see. I haven't used this, but sweep. You can do a sweep command which forces the cleaning of your farm or wherever you're sweeping. And I'm gonna make another set of storage bins here. Expedite. Just so we can see all this in operation. Leave it open. Leave it open. Leave that one closed. Leave it open. Got a skill. We're just flying by now. Flying by. Applied science research. So we could do this, but the morale that's a little bit too tight for me. Hazmat digging, that's also a little bit too tight. Is this our researcher and digger? Is that what we have here? Okay. Maybe we'll just give you... see, I want to do that, but... You don't always have to give him the skill. That's the thing. If it doesn't feel right, just don't give him the skill. All right. This we're gonna place all in here, so that way this stuff we're gonna expedite the cleaning of that. See what I'm saying? All right, we have a new dupe. Dirt or Shine Nymph eggs or Dr. Rocket Tidy. We're gonna do these guys. More guys flying around. They have a good time when they're in Alright, so we're cleaning up so our farm is a little bit better. I believe we also need, we closed off our plumbing, so that's a problem. We need to splice this, so we're gonna do a disconnect there and there. Then we need to reconnect this. And we also want to splice this, because we want it to go, we want this to be the crossover, and then we want it to go. And now we need to splice this because we're wasting water. See how it's going up and then dumping back in. So if you're doing that in your base, you know, be careful. It's a waste of power. So these cost power to use. So you want to be very careful about that. Okay, we're gonna clean this up. I'm gonna leave that there, but we want to make sure that we're cleaning up the pipes that are sort of like in our main area. Like here, we don't want these there. This is probably fine, but look at me go. So anyways, water going up the middle, outputs going out on the sides. This is a little bit too messy. I think this is good the way it is here. But when it starts getting down here, like we're gonna have to utilize some space in order to, when we cool stuff, that'll have to be different. Okay, so we got our first farm. See, we got our first farm. We need some more mealwood seeds here. I don't know what we're doing, but we're planting. We're having a good time. We're copying our settings. I said we're copying our settings. We're placing it there. That way you don't have to plant each one. We have smartly thought about how this is gonna be built, and things are looking good. So these require dirt fertilization. So I think we also need to have some dirt in here. We want our seeds in here, and we also want our dirt in here. So let's fill this sucker up with some dirt. That way we can fertilize easy. Go. Got our oxyferns, so they're collecting all that stuff. Now this algae terrarium is now in a really bad spot because it is outside our base, which we have lined right here. And we also still have to finish this and this construction. These construction pieces we gotta finish. That way we will be very effective. So things are feeling good. This is actually, I think this is unreachable at the moment. Let's make it reachable. Alright, so we'll do another 5 minutes. See, now you guys know how I do things. Now you guys know. I don't stop. I don't want to work. Okay, so this algae terrarium is still working, but it's not eating the carbon dioxide. So we'll get our carbon skimmer running at the bottom here at a certain point. In fact, let's put an airflow tile per oxyfern here. So that way it is collecting this stuff as well. Or it's just sending it into a location where we don't care about it. All right, things look nice. Things feel good. You know, things feel great. We have our first farm. They're growing. Look how quickly they grow. They grow. Let's see. We get one every. While I'll go through store, we get one every 3. So you can increase that if you need to. And so, anyways, the dupes will grab this. See? They'll grab this stuff and they'll bring it up to the chef, who will then cook it into some delicious Liceloaf, which is really where it's at. So we're gonna halt production on the mush bar. Just gonna halt production. We're gonna focus on the Liceloafs. Now there's another, let's see, pickled meal. So this requires meal lice, but it is preserved in vinegar. this is better quality, but it's not gonna last as long. But that's okay, because it's not like we're gonna be going too much to town. Now, the question I have is, can you make turn the Liceloaf into anything? No, you can't. Can we take the meal lice and turn it into anything else besides these two things? No. So it's either pickled meal or Liceloaf. And spoil time, 8 cycles. This lasts way longer, 32 cycles. So I guess the other question is, it's 18 calories with no loss. This is, okay, so this gives you more calories and requires water. So there is a value to just doing the pickled meals. They're not gonna increase morale, but we're gonna increase morale other ways. And what I like about this is it doesn't waste water, because we use water for this. We use water for that. We're also researching which does water. So I'm actually gonna be doing that instead of the Liceloaf for now. I think that's gonna be the smarter way to do it. Okay, so anyways, that's that. And wait, look, 84, we're almost there. Okay, so today, what did we do? Let's set this to 1. We built out our outs. So we have just outs here. We have 3 outs currently that anyone can use. Eventually this will be closed off, so only this single dupe can do the exit. I'm sure that will create some interesting issues later on, but for now I think this is great because we can do like a small little chamber there for making sure gases aren't entering. We could experiment with that. We dug this out. We isolated our base a little bit better for temperature issues, which I did as I expanded. We could enclose this even more, but we're going to be expanding down more, so we're not going to worry about that later. We also have opportunity to expand this way, which I think we will to take advantage of this heat. Let's see, we also ruined our hospital and brought it back. That was good. And we built our Mealwood farm and made sure we had plenty of dirt and Mealwood seeds for this area. And we thought about what we're going to be doing later with our auto sweeping technology and spacing it out to utilize the most of this. So this will fertilize for us. This maybe plants for us. I can't quite remember exactly. But we're going to be placing those right there as soon as we get the proper engineering skill. There is our final timer. And before I leave, I'm going to look at exactly where that proper engineering skill is. Conveyor belt construction, microchipping, I think it's this. Mechatronics engineering skill. Mechatronics engineering skill, right here. So Marie's on her way. I think Mima's going to be the one to do that, which is very fun for her. Okay. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on episode 8, where I think we'll build out another farm in episode 8. And I think we will take care of this carbon dioxide within our base. I think it's about time. I think it's about time we actually did something about this, because it is a problem. We'll also build our base down even more. And yeah, we'll have a good time. All right. See you later.